Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. In Huskers news today, congratulations to Nebraska Softball infielder Cam Ibarra, who was named third-team All-American. Ibarra hit .365 with 10 home runs and 39 RBIs to go with a .927 fielding percentage this season. She finished her career with a .333 batting average, good for 14th best in school history. Further congratulations are in order for senior pitcher Courtney Wallace, who won a Gold Glove. This is being the first year that the Gold Glove has been awarded. Courtney is the first pitcher to ever receive the award in Division I. She did not make an error in 34 games played and 26 games started this season. Nebraska Wrestling released its non-conference schedule detailing the meets on the following dates today. Friday, November 4th is the home match against North Dakota State. Saturday, November 12th, they'll be at Army and North Carolina State for the Journeyman's Wranglemania. Saturday, November 19th, they'll be at Navy. Friday, December 2nd, and Saturday, December 3rd, they'll be at the Cliff Keen Invite. Sunday, December 18th, it'll be at South Dakota State. And Saturday, January 7th, it'll be at Campbell and Gardner-Webb. Sunday, February 19th, will be home against Arizona State. Huskers Soccer also released their full schedule for the upcoming fall season. Some of their home dates of note: Friday, August 12th will be the first time they're back. That's an exhibition game against Tulsa at 7:05. Thursday, August 18th, they'll take on San Diego State. That's regular season play at 7:05 as well. Sunday, August 21st against Oklahoma at 1:05. Thursday, August 25th against Arizona at home, 7:05. Weber State on Sunday, that'll be August 28th at 1:05. Portland is the opponent on Thursday, September 1st, also at 7:05. That game, the Thursday home trend continues the following week against NC State, 7:05 p.m. And then Sunday, September 11th, it'll be USC, 1:05 p.m. Friday, September 16th, Minnesota will play at 7:05 p.m. Thursday, September 22nd, Northwestern will be a 7:05 p.m. start. And then Saturday, October 8th, Ohio State comes to town at 1:05. Illinois comes to town on Thursday, October 13th, 7:05 p.m. And then the final home game of the season, in the regular season at least, it will be Thursday, October 20th against Penn State at 7:05 p.m. Lastly, Nebraska football will open Memorial Stadium to fans for 4 camps this month, beginning this Friday with the first of 2 Friday Night Light camps. Each of the 4 camps will be free to the public. The other camps include 7-on-7 camp, June 5th. That gates open for at 9 a.m. The second Friday Night Lights camp is June 17th at 6 to 8 p.m. Important note, both Friday Night Lights camps will be 6 to 8 p.m. And then the last camp date, Adidas Pipeline O-Line D-Line camp, that'll be June 18th. Gates opening for that one at 10:30 a.m. Congratulations as well in order. 147 Huskers earned academic All-Big Ten honors across 11 Nebraska programs. That was announced this morning. Over to pro sports and earlier action in the MLB today. The Marlins walloped the Rockies 14-1 in Game 1 of their doubleheader. The Guardians shut out the Royals 4-0. The Mets blanked the Nationals 5-0. The Astros rallied in the top of the 9th for 4 runs. They took a 5-4 win over the A's. The Braves took down Arizona 6-0. And then on now, the Giants are at the Phillies. They're scoreless in the 3rd. The Marlins are at the Rockies. That's Game 2 of their doubleheader. That's just underway. They're scoreless in the 1st. Also just getting started, Mariners are at the Orioles. The White Sox are at the Blue Jays. That first pitch just underway. Red Sox will get started in a few minutes as they host the Reds. The Twins and Tigers will start at 6:10. Later tonight, we'll see the Brewers at the Cubs at 7:05. The Rays at the Rangers also at 7:05, and the Pirates at the Dodgers at 7:10. And then lastly, it was a wild one out west last night in the NHL as the Avalanche buried the Oilers with 8 goals for an 8-6 final in that one. But expect more defense tonight in the Eastern Conference Finals as they get underway. The Rangers host the Lightning. That one starts at 7 p.m. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Bischoff comes set and the pitch. Fastball drilled into center field. Racing back is on. Racing back. It's over his head. And it is gone. Home run. Bryce Matthews.
Day with a line, the first pitch, and Wallace grounds it back up the middle, base hit to center field. Squire scores. Andrews around 3rd. She's gonna score, and the Huskers take the lead.
Banjoff turns and crushes one to left. Mays is back. He's to the wall. He looks and is gone. Banjoff gets a homer out of here to left. The Huskers add another one. It's 9-3 Cornhuskers. First pitch to Peter on.
Lifted in the air to left. Wind's going to help it. Banjoff back. He's to the track. He's to the wall. He jumps and makes a terrific catch as he falls into the fence for out number 3.
3-1 Huskers. First pitch. Livingston grounds to third. Gray to her left has it. Throws to first. In time! And Nebraska has won the 2022 Big Ten Tournament title! For the first time in school history, they've won the Big Ten Tournament Championship.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to another night of Sports Nightly. We're already to Wednesday. How about that? You have the little holiday on Monday, and you get through the week in a hurry. I like that. Pretty cool little deal, huh?
It did. It's already flown by. I mean, it's already June. May's over.
June is over, and Tim told you about the camps for Husker football. They start this Friday. This Friday night, the gates will be open. You can come out and watch some camp action going on, and I know the football staff would appreciate that. We're going to hear all about that coming up here in just a few minutes as Vince Ncaa is going to join us. He's the director of recruiting for Husker football, back for a second stint in that position. He was here during the Bill Callahan era and then got hired by Scott Frost a couple of months ago. He's excited to be back in town. Can't wait to dive into a lot of topics with Vince coming up here in just a few minutes. Jessica, moments after we signed off last night, the news came down that Trey Mcgowan was officially done as a Husker, keeping his name in the draft. I don't think he gets drafted, but I think he is ready now to try to play some professional basketball.
We've been waiting 3 months wondering when that was going to come. Kind of thought that was what was going to happen, just waiting on him to make it official. And I know we were approaching the deadline to stay in the draft. It was tonight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and we've kind of talked a lot about what could be next for him. I don't know. Maybe he gets undrafted free agent invite to a camp, but there are a lot of opportunities to play basketball. That's the great thing about basketball, is it is a worldwide sport. It's where football, if you don't make it, you're kind of done. You can't go elsewhere, but you can go overseas and make really good money. And in fact, women's basketball players make more money overseas playing for teams than they do here in the United States playing in the WNBA. So there's an opportunity for him to make some really good money, to play some good basketball, maybe continue to grow his game a little bit, because I do know at the beginning of the year, and I don't know, it probably wasn't right, probably waiting to see how it would shake out with his season, but he was on some draft boards at the beginning, I think late second round. But with the injury, didn't really get to show. His offensive game had developed, enough. And so, yeah, I mean, we expected it, but now you can move forward officially knowing that he's not going to be here.
Fred Hoiberg, in the release last night, said, quote, Trey has decided to stay in the draft and embark on a professional career. He has meant a lot to this program over the last 2 seasons, and his toughness is coming back from injury strengthened our team down the stretch. I thought Trey was one of the best defenders in our league last year, and he has showed the ability to guard several different positions. Trey loves to be in the gym and work, and I think his best days are still ahead of him. We will do everything to support him as he begins the next chapter of his basketball career. I know he had a workout with the Lakers yesterday. His brother, Bryce, will get drafted. I don't know if it's first or second round, but he will get drafted. And I think Trey will get a look. But as Jessica mentioned, there's a lot of options. There's the G League. You can go to Europe. A lot of former Huskers are playing over in Europe right now. So good luck to him. He's done a lot. I don't think this surprises anybody. In fact, Jessica, with that announcement, Nebraska's at the scholarship limit. They're at 13. They were at 14 till that came down, so they're where they need to be.
So it makes you think that probably they had a feeling that's where it was going, so they were prepared for that. But, when we had the feature on with Bryce talking about his family a couple months ago, great people, great family, and their dad's a coach. I would not be surprised if Trey ends up in coaching, to be honest with you. Maybe even just like even if it was just a one-on-one skills type, whether that be working out, developing guys on their games, working out with guys. I could totally see him maybe going in that trajectory once basketball's over. He's is just a good human being, nice, kind, relates to people, knows the game really well because they grew up in a sports family playing all kinds of sports, and with a coach, 2 coaches. Their mom's a coach too.
Was Trey the better football player, or was it Bryce?
Well, Trey was like the defensive back that would hit people, and Bryce was the quarterback. Bryce was told his dad that he would go whichever sport offered him the first offer, that's where he was going. And it just so happened that he got his first offer in 8th grade to play basketball, so he quit playing football. But he was a really, really good quarterback.
Yeah, I've heard stories,
Yeah.
and you can see both those guys would talk football with you when you got a chance to talk to them. And they're going to remember this past year for the rest of their lives. And I know it didn't go well for Trey because he got hurt. But to play with your brother at this level of basketball, that'll be something that they'll talk about for years.
Oh, it was a dream come true for them, and they didn't know if it was going to be a possibility, and it happened. And look, I mean, Bryce is going to leave a mark for Nebraska because, this is huge for recruiting. When guys can look and see, now you've got 3 guys. When Bryce makes it, you got 3 guys playing in the league. That's big. That's a big selling point, and especially guys that go one and done. And so I know not everybody does that, and obviously the NIL deal probably will help that a little bit. But that's a big recruiting tool, and so and Bryce did a lot of big things in his freshman year, and he has the record, and so he's forever going to have his mark here, and I think his going and hopefully getting drafted, hearing his name called and making an impact in the NBA is going to help this program in the future. Yeah,
so good luck to him. Spent 2 years at Nebraska, and again, the injury took a big chunk out of year number 2 for him, and it was just awful. It was awful for the team because it made a difference, I think, in a handful of games for them in November and December when he was not able to get out there and compete. And I think about that 4 overtime loss at North Carolina State. I think he'd have been a difference. I think that would have been a Husker win. And there were a couple of other games I think they would have won if he would have been healthy.
He just had that demeanor, that refused to lose, and even if he wasn't scoring 20 points, he'd go get a bucket or he'd make a massive stop on the defensive end, a block or a steal. And so it was just that swagger, and to me it looked like, and again, that was my first time really watching that team, diving into it, but it looked like they lost a lot of confidence when he left the court, and he was just being relied upon, and it's hard to say, oh, well, he's not even scoring that many points. Well, it's just all the things that he brings in the swagger and the attitude and the defensive mentality and locking people down. And I think that team was really shook after he went down, and especially not knowing how bad the injury was going to be, and then trying to figure out the different roles. And I think they, struggled defensively after that, but just and the toughness and the rebounding. I mean, he made some great rebounds. So yeah, I think it definitely hurt, and then when he came back, it definitely provided a spark. But great human beings that I wish nothing but the best for moving forward.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance. Buy online at woodhouse.com. That number is always open and available for you with a call or a text at 402-413-2400. Also, Tim mentioned that Cam Ybarra honored today as a third-team All-American for Husker softball. She's the first Husker softball All-American since 2016. What a great addition she was to this team, and what a great year she had. And you think about some of the stars of that team, maybe she doesn't come to top of mind because of some of the home run numbers that were put up by some of her teammates or what Olivia Farrell did in the circle, but Ybarra was invaluable to that team this year.
Oh, she was just incredible defensively. I mean, first team all Big Ten defensively, and she made some great plays in the regional, and she was big in how she brought along a Billie Andrews, who, as we know what she did, but that connection, second short, Billie Andrews came in here at the beginning of the season and just talked how important Cam Ybarra was to her and some of those younger infielders of helping them kind of get a mentality and bring them along. And so in so many ways, Cam Ybarra was a huge addition to this team. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that infield, because maybe you move Sydney Gray over to second. I know they've got some young freshman studs coming in to see how they switch up that infield, but you got 3 of the 4 back, but Cam will be a big hole to fill, no doubt.
Again, she's the 17th All-American in program history, the first since 2016, and certainly would deserved it. Hit .365, 14 doubles, 10 home runs, 39 RBIs. But I think maybe her bigger impact was how well she played defensively for the Huskers, fielded at a .972 clip for the Big Red. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Mention that we have Vince Ncaa is going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. Hour number 2, we're going to hear from Chris Plank, who's going to be calling some softball on Westwood 1 as the Softball World Series begins tomorrow down in Oklahoma City. Hopefully the weather cooperates. You always have to kind of battle some raindrops and thunderstorms this time of year.
They had severe weather last night.
It's just been all around the last couple of days. Hopefully that doesn't delay the tournament too much because it's so much fun to watch. So we'll get a big preview of that coming up in hour number 2 of the program. Again, our number is 402-413-2400. A lot to get to here on the program tonight. We're broadcasting inside of our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. We're back to talk some Husker football recruiting. We'll do that next.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you know by using ethanol, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 46% compared to traditional gasoline and by up to 86% when you use biodiesel compared to petroleum diesel? Locally produced biofuels are the here and now solution to combating climate change. They are good for our air, good for our wallets, and good for Nebraska. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots, and we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
The 2022 Nissan Rogue Sport is street savvy, road trip ready, and always fun to drive. Equipped with standard features like rear automatic braking, blind spot warning, and high beam assist, so you can surround yourself with confidence on the road. Plus, explore the 3 Rogue Sport trims to find the one that's right for you and your lifestyle. Choose your experience and shop, finance, and purchase online at woodhouse.com or in store at Woodhouse Nissan in Bellevue or at Woodhouse Place.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
The 2022 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need you in Memorial Stadium this fall. A customizable Husker football 3-game mini plan is on sale now for only $180. To purchase your 2022 Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. Go Big Red.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
The 2022 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need you in Memorial Stadium this fall. A customizable Husker football 3-game mini plan is on sale now for only $180. To purchase your 2022 Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. Go Big Red.
The Huskers provide the best on the field, and so does Kubota. The new Kubota L60 Limited Edition Series provides the best package for affordability, quality, and comfort, like the deluxe Grand L factory-installed cab or spacious open operator station. Maximize performance with Kubota's best-in-class HST Plus transmission and many other features of the L60 LE Series. Experience the Kubota difference. Visit nebraska-kubota-dealers.com or see Kubota of Omaha in Omaha or North Platte Kubota in North Platte.
There's nothing better than the smoky aroma of grilled beef at the ballpark. This is Anne Marie with the Nebraska Beef Council reminding you to pick up a package of steaks or burgers for your next tailgate party. Whether you're setting up in the parking lot or cheering from home, nutritious beef is a home run choice when cheering on the Huskers. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for delicious beef recipes, grilling tips, and tailgate inspirations. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night of Sports Nightly. And this is going to be, now that we're into June, this is going to be a really busy month for football recruiting, and the department came out with an announcement today about these Friday night camps that are going to start this Friday that are open to the public. We'll tell you more about that here in a minute, but to tell us all about what's ahead for Husker football recruiting is Vince Ncaa, who is the Senior Director of Player Personnel and Recruiting. Vince, welcome to Lincoln, or I guess I should say welcome back to Lincoln. This is time 2 for you, right?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's awesome to be back. It's this time I got to bring my family back with me, so it was a really cool drive to come back here, that's for sure.
Let's start with why this made sense for you right now in your career.
Well, one is to come back to this community. You know, at this point in my life now, I have 2 young children, I have a wife, and Lincoln is such a phenomenal community to raise a family. The family values here, the work ethic of the state, like this is such a perfect place to raise a family. It's a little bit closer to our home than our previous, where we were previously down in Texas. Like I was able to have my grandma and mom drive out for my son's birthday, be in a car, so that was really great. But just the opportunity to be back in this building again with Coach Frost, his vision was so in line with what I would like to do career-wise, and to be back part of Husker Nation just was such a positive experience in my life and really shaped me as a professional and as a person. And so when the opportunity came back to me, it was a no-brainer to get back here.
You hit the ground running, and with recruiting, obviously it never stops. There might be dead periods, but let's face it, it never stops. So when you got the role and you came here, what was kind of your first order of business that you wanted to implement?
Well, the first thing that I wanted to do was get to know the people that were here. So the first 2 weeks I was here, I met with each coach individually, and I met with our current recruiting staff. One of the things that was a big part of my conversations before I came here was Coach Frost is very happy with, we have great people that were already here, you know, in our department. So I got to know them and what they were doing, and, you know, our director of player personnel, our assistant director of recruiting, all those guys, you know, Kenny Wilhite, like those people were already here. So it was getting to know the people that were here, getting to know kind of how things had worked before, how things were working, and then, you know, putting what I could do in a short term into play, and then how do we lay the long-term plans out from that. So, you know, at the end of the day, there was a lot of 2 weeks of getting to know you, and then boom, it was on from there.
From the time you were here before to what happens now recruiting really is night and day. I mean, before it was one signing period in early February, and when that was done, you took a little bit of a breather, and then you started kind of doing junior days and that. Now, with the transfer portal, it's 12 months of the year, right?
It is. It's 12 months of the year. You know, there's no downtime. I mean, the time you get to breathe is really in the month of July, but you're still on your phone, you're still getting text messages, you're still, you know, DMing, you know, kids, you know, and staying in contact. You know, and that window keeps growing shorter and shorter. So I hope at some point in the near future, the NCAA or whatever the entity is going to get together and come up with a calendar that's friendly for the football staffs and for the recruits, because it's a year-round business for them too. So it's this is something that we chose to be in, so we know that there's going to be long hours, and you were ready for that 12 years ago. It was a lot different, though. June was a couple of camps, and you were done, August, you're just twiddling your thumbs and, getting ready for, fall to start. And you hit it hard in December and January, and you sign in February. That was it, right? But, yeah, it's definitely a year-round business now. There's no doubt about it.
So you mentioned all the things that have changed, but I'd be interested to hear what's one thing that is the same as far as your recruiting pitch, and then what is the biggest difference?
Right. Well, if you look at recruiting, to me, at the heart is never going to change. Recruiting is about showing the way that you can support a young person and what their dreams are, their aspirations. You show the culture of your university, the culture of your community, and the culture of your staff, the people that are going to be around them. You're going to show people the opportunities that you have for them. And then you're building relationships, right? It's still a relationship business at the end of the day. You put all that stuff together, you build emotional connections. That will never change. And I think that's probably the same in business if you're doing leads or recruiting, whatever it is. I think those axioms, if you put those letters together, by the way, that spells score. If you that's a patent pending, so no one can steal that. But no, I really. Those things never change. What has changed, we talk about one of the great things that changed in this business happened right here in Lincoln, Nebraska, over, the gentleman that created Huddle. I was here, David Graff was working upstairs, and I was down, and I remember David coming in and seeing the closets full of recruiting tapes and having some cool chats with him about his thoughts, and so that allowed us to have so much faster access to players. I remember a story like when we were recruiting Prince Amukamura, right? We used to send these tapes out, right? And they were like, you paid to get these custom Nebraska tapes made, VHS, of course, right? And you put them in an envelope, and you sent them all over the country. We made a party about it in the office, right? It's videotape day, so we send the tapes out, like we'd get the music cranking out front, and we would send the tapes out, and then you were hoping when it came back with a highlight tape on it. Because if it came back with a game tape, then you were going to get on 2 VCRs and make a highlight tape out of it, right? We had a couple young men that were working for us at the time, and that's what they did. They got back there, so they had VCRs, but we sent a tape out to Apollo High School, right? And we sent it out early spring. The coaches are out on the road recruiting. I remember Coach Bush being out on the road, and he's getting ready to go into that school. And I'm watching the tape, and a couple of people are like, oh my gosh, this guy's unbelievable, right? But it took 2 months, and thank goodness it happened that day, right? And I'm sure Bill could tell you the story too, but I remember being on the phone with him being like, this guy is every bit as good as we heard of, and then some. So that was a two-month process, whereas now, which would be, I would pick up the phone right
2
here.
seconds.
Right, I would pick up the phone right here, and it would be done. So thank you, David Graff and Huddle, for that, right? So that made my life easier but harder at the same time, right? And then just, with social media, every young man now has if you can't find a young man's Twitter profile, that could be a cool thing. Yeah, I'm going to go to their Instagram because I really want to know who they are. Like the Twitter's going to be what they want the coaches to see, right? The Instagram, or really their Snapchat, or there's probably something even new that I don't know about that they do, right? As the older I get, the less involved I am in that side of the business. But so that changed a lot of things. And so the instant communication and the instant availability to do evaluations really changed things. And kids are way more mobile now than they used to be. I mean, I remember the springs here, when I was here in 05, right? You would maybe see 2 or 3 kids that came to spring practice. Now, it's like every spring practice day is junior day almost. You've got multiple prospects, and that's just the norm, and that's how, the whole calendar is sped up with the early signing day. You got to be ready to set who your early official visits are going to be, so that means they're visiting earlier, right? And so just the whole thing has been sped up, but with more information, those decisions become a little easier to make.
By the way, Bill Bush can't tell a good story.
I was going to say.
Oh my God.
We will ask him that story. It'll be over the top, I'm sure. When that comes out.
Yeah. I'd like to hear his version.
I know.
It's funny because you hear those stories. You think about those stories. 15 or 16 years later. So that was I asked if I was coming over to the Bill Bush Network today to do this interview. Actually.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Visiting again with Vince Ncaa, who is the Senior Director of Player Personnel and Recruiting for the Huskers. Buckle up and put that phone down. A reminder for the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We've got a lot more questions for Vince. We'll get into that coming up next.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
The Nebraska FFA is growing leaders
and building communities.
Together, we are strengthening agriculture.
The Nebraska FFA Foundation believes in our future leaders and the communities they serve. We believe in the future of agriculture.
Join us in the I Believe in the Future of Ag campaign. Learn more at neffafoundation.org. Brought to you by Aurora Cooperative. Tougher together, Aurora and you. And Frontier Cooperative.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Husker fans, get ready to be part of the excitement of the 2022-23 Nebraska women's basketball season by joining the season ticket waitlist today. The Huskers return all 5 starters from a team that won 24 games and advanced to the 2022 NCAA tournament. Make the first choice on the best seats to watch the Huskers in person at Pinnacle Bank Arena this year. Join the waitlist by July 31st at huskers.com/request list.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires our product development. From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Visiting with Vince Guinda, who is the Senior Director of Player Personnel and Recruiting for the Huskers. I mentioned we've got camps coming up, 4 open camps for the fans.
Yes.
Starting this Friday night. The other camps, you have a 7-on-7 camp, another Friday Night Lights camp, a pipeline camp, which is offense, defensive lines. How important is this for Husker football this month and these camps?
I mean, we have a total of 11 camps right this month, and like you mentioned, some are open to the public, right? Camps are critical because as much as you want to put on film is great, but to get young men here on our campus, to watch them compete, to watch how they take coaching, to see the look in their eyes when they're out on that field, you can feel it. And it's a totally different vibe than you can replicate on film. And it says a lot if a young man is willing to come here and perform for you, right? Because that's what they're doing. They're coming here to perform. There was a time where camps were to go, hey, I want to go, go to a 3-day camp and I'm going to get better, right? That's really not what camps are for anymore. Now it's like, I'm going to go, I'm going to demonstrate my skills, I'm going to gain some skills while I'm at camp. There's no doubt about it. Maybe I'm going to learn a few extra pass rush moves, I'm going to learn some stuff, I'm going to get coached by the best, so my game will get better for having gone to them. But really, it's let me go showcase my talents. Let me put myself, on the radar. And so, to have those young men here says a lot. It says a lot about their commitment to the game. It says a lot about their commitment to this university, their interest in this university. And like I said, I love tough, competitive players, and it's hard to find that out just by going to a spring practice where you can't coach them. Once those guys are on the ground and they can be with them, they can watch them get in the stands, they can coach them up. That's such a powerful tool.
And to have some fans in the stands probably is a benefit too.
Oh, it's juice. I mean, first of all, there's no more beautiful place in all of college football than Memorial Stadium. You're talking about beautiful evenings in the summertime in Lincoln, Nebraska. There might be a couple of mosquitoes, but there's not many bugs. I tell you, it's so nice to open the doors and not get attacked by bugs here at night. So it's a beautiful setting, right? Mm-hmm. And the fans are there, the energy's there, our beautiful big screens are lit up, the Husker Vision boards are lit up, and the music's pumping. It's a great environment. And it's really cool, too, because while these are going on, we've got official visits happening. And so we're going to bring in a number of official visitors. They're going to be having dinner actually in the stadium. They're going to be watching our coaches coach, because how many times do those young men get to watch our coaches coach individual for that long? So they'll be able to go down on the field, take a watch of what's happening. If you're on official visit, you can't participate in camp. That's the NCAA rule. So they're not going to throw the pads on real quick and then come back to the visit. But it is an opportunity for them to get an atmosphere, feel the power of Husker Nation and the support, right, that they have. And even if it's, You know, it's not going to be like a spring game, or not going to be obviously like a home game. But if there's a few thousand people in the stands that are bringing energy, they're going to feel that. So I really encourage people to come out, enjoy the beautifulness of the stadium, support our staff, and bring some energy to these recruits, because it's not just the guys on the field. Some real special ones are going to be up in the skybox and watching as well.
I just had one more for you. You had talked earlier about just the importance of building relationships, and some of these coaches that you've now gotten to know here on staff, Mickey Joseph, Bill Bush. I mean, you could go down the list.
There's some great personalities up and down.
Yeah,
this
I mean,
hallway.
how big is that, and how much has that helped in the recruiting too? Those relationship builders they're so good at that.
Oh, it's critical. I mean, there's nothing there. You know, the relationship with the head coach is paramount in any recruiting process. But in the scope of building a long-term, real good recruiting relationship, obviously there's going to be one or two coaches that are their primary recruiter, right? And we do have recruiting areas, and then we also have our position coaches involved in that. So each individual coach really plays such a critical factor in that. But it's fun to watch because they're all a little different, right, in their approaches. It's just like life, right? You put 10 different guys into a room, you're going to have 10 different personalities. But the key is, if they work hard, they're diligent, they try to do, we do as much as we can to support them. One of my major roles here is to make their life easier, right? How can I give you more information that helps you know the kids better on the front end? How can I help you to get to the destinations you need to get to, right? How can I help organize events that makes it easier for you to spend more time with them, right? So in my support role is to kind of get to know each coach individually, strengths, and maybe, not weaknesses, but maybe just things that aren't their strengths. Because we've got great professionals in the building, guys that work hard at what they do. And, Coach Frost does a great job of letting guys be themselves. And also, creating a great positive vibe amongst the staff, so that people feel like they can, be themselves and build those relationships.
Oh, wait, one more. I completely forgot. I was going to ask you about the two new hires, your two new women that you brought in, Brittany and Taylor.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Very impressive young professionals in this business. Taylor Mcdaniels joining us. She was down at Kansas State. Before that, she spent some time at the University of Tennessee. She's got a master's degree. She's educated, and she is really, really a rising star in this business. And with her, she kind of is going to oversee the recruiting aspect of things. So she's involved in that relationship building, making plans for how we set up visits and how we market our program. And then the other young lady we just hired is Brittany Oleg Mueller. She's a Nebraskan. She actually worked in our office last summer. She's great, high energy. She's about to finish her master's degree. Another, really educated and sharp. She's coming to us from the University of Florida. And she's another really rising professional. The great thing about both of these two young women is that they know football, they know people, and they bring an energy and a perspective that just added to what we're already doing.
And we're going to get them on the podcast hopefully pretty soon, once we let them get settled in a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll hear from them hopefully coming up pretty soon.
Last thing for you. Behind you is the Go Big project. What kind of difference can this make moving down the road?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's incredible, the Go Big project, and it just gets bigger every day. One of the fun things I like, because one of my hobbies part-time is construction and stuff like that, real estate. And to watch this project has just blown my mind. Every day to see these massive cranes put on a new wing and a new wing and a new wing. And you look at the video that Matt Davison shows to our recruits, it's mind-blowing, the resources that were pulled together to provide the atmosphere for these young men to really thrive at an elite level. It's going to be like nothing else in college football. It's the best of the best. There is so much power in being able to say that we are going to give you the absolute best facility that you can be in to fine-tune your craft. You spend all your time, right? We have them for 20 hours a week, but young men on our team are around a lot more than that, right? On their own, whether they're in there hanging out in their locker room, in the players' lounge, you name it. We want this to be a home away from home for them. So for them to have the best of the best and have it be elite and have it be comfortable and have it be their home, and to know that there's nothing that I need to go across campus to go do this, right? No, it's right here, right? If I want to have a restful nap, I don't have to drive home and only have a 10-minute restful nap. I'm going to have an unbelievable sleep pod to be in, right? Those type of things, those type of things are what makes a difference over a long season. You know, be more rested, more physically prepared. You know, and it's you know, in this day and age, you know, I feel like the arms race for facilities is kind of slowing down a little bit because some other things are picking up in college athletics, right? So to know that you've got the best building in all of college football makes you feel really comfortable that this is just like something that's going to be, you know, a force for a long, long time.
With the best training table, right?
The best training table, unbelievable sports medicine department, unbelievable.
Academics, life skills, go down the list.
You name it, we have the best of the best. And it's not just the building, which you can say is the best. It's the people here. Yeah. It's the people. It's the people that come here. It's the people that make this place their home and they stay. I tell people all the time, I walked in this building, I knew the first 4 people I saw when I walked in for the second time 15 years later. I knew them because this is not a place you leave. So you get great people in the building that love Nebraska, that love to take care of student athletes, and then you give them these kind of resources. It's amazing what can happen.
I'm sold. I'll come play for you guys.
You got it. You're in. You're in. What position are you thinking?
Probably like a wide receiver.
Perfect. I know Mickey's looking for wideouts right now.
Yeah, I'd play for Mickey.
Yeah, heck yeah. He'd get you ready to go. Now, you know, you better
I have 2 bad knees, though. I tore both my ACLs, so.
Well, I mean, we
I
get
might
you
need
through.
to be the holder.
Yeah, I mean, we got Mark Mayer can get you through. He can get you ready to go. You know, we'll get you ready. We're prehab so we don't have to rehab, okay? Just think about it like that.
Vince, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's been fun.
This has been great. Great to have you back in town. Let's get this thing going. It's going to be a fun month.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Vince with us here on Sports Sunday. Our Sports Sunday hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. More of the show coming up.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Hi, I'm Nebraska Pick 3.
I'm My Day.
I'm 2x2. We're 3 great lotto games from the Nebraska Lottery.
And this is our first radio spot ever.
But we've only got 30 seconds.
So we gotta talk fast.
With Nebraska Pick 3, you get to choose your own bet type.
With My Day, you choose a 6-digit date.
And 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize.
And we're all just $1 per play with drawings every day.
That was easy.
And we did great.
With 8 seconds to spare. We should be doing all the lottery's ads.
Sorry, that gig is already taken. Must be 19, please play responsibly.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Mike Shefford, Craig Kerr, or Eli Sinney in Lincoln for a free insurance review.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the Bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you. 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question. Vince Guda, thanks for him coming in and talking to us. I thought it was fascinating. We covered a lot of ground with him, didn't we?
We did. We just had so many questions, and he was great. He's entertaining, and Bill Bush Network, apparently. It's not the Huskers Radio Network. It's the Bill Bush Network. And
love that.
Just hearing about the importance of these camps and, just not even for these players, because you think about a lot of these players that probably got seen at these camps. A guy like Garrett Nelson, I know, got his offer at a camp. And so, it's important for these players, but, it's also important to win them over, those recruits, those officials that they've got coming in, the atmosphere. I mean, we're going to talk to O'Shawn Mathis tomorrow, and I was reading how he was really blown away by the support of Husker Nation on the spring game. And so even at a camp, having fans in the stands, I don't know, do many schools do that? Because
not a lot.
I know Oklahoma
most people can
didn't.
do it, and nobody shows up.
Yeah.
Here, you'll get 1,000, 2,000 people that'll come for a camp.
And with some big-time recruits on campus, I mean, that'll be important.
Sure would be. Tim in Minnesota on our text line said, definitely like what I'm hearing from our new recruiting guy, Vince. If we can win some football games, I think this is going to really be a helpful, awesome, positive, and great culture being built, and this is another example of that. Also, I'm not sure, am I the only person that thinks Vince looks like Gene Hackman? I don't know.
I don't think he does.
I didn't get, yeah, I don't know, Tim. I don't know that I see Gene Hackman out of that. We also, earlier in the hour, talked about Trey Mcgowan's announcement came out late last night. John in Omaha says, just want to thank Trey McGowan for his investment in Husker basketball. He said, I still giggle to myself when I envisioned him rolling on his scooter to midcourt when there was a little bit of a scrum. Maybe not advisable, but a real team guy. I really hope he has a great future in basketball. I remember that, too, him scooting around out there.
He was making sure, I don't know what he was going to do, but he was making sure that his presence was felt for his guys. But, yeah, great human beings. Can't say it enough. Excited for them. And I know they'll be back around because, as we were talking about, Bryce was very involved in the community and went to a lot of high school games, so they'll be back.
That was at North Carolina State when they had that little fracas down in front of the Wolfpack bench. Remember watching that on TV? Came Trey. A little late to the party, but he was there.
He got there.
He
scooted there.
Oh, that was fun. Hey, our Sports Signing Hotline, it's brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family Shop. Woodhouse, first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. What a fast hour. Next hour will be the same. Chris Plank going to join us. We're going to talk about the Women's College World Series. We'll clear off some of the other headlines of the day as well. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sapp Brothers. For 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska. providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Shop Woodhouse Ford first and experience the difference. The all-new 2022 Bronco Sport is built wild for the thrill seeker, the sightseer, and the day tripper. A capable and dependable SUV that's ready to tackle the dirt, dust, and mud. Bronco Sport offers 4 models to match the way you explore the outdoors. Shop, finance, and buy your way. Online at WoodhouseFord.com or one of our 3 convenient Ford locations in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. But wait, he sees an opening. SOS! SOS, he screams and calls 391-2336. SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer. Boy, he made the right call today as SOS is already on the way. SOS is your trustworthy company since 1950, and with Luxair, you get free 10-year labor warranty with the new system. Call 391-2336 or visit soshvac.com today.
Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. Lots of Husker news today, and we start with Nebraska Softball. Congratulations to senior infielder Cam Ibarra, who was named third-team All-American after hitting .365 with 10 home runs and 39 RBI to go, along with a .972 fielding percentage this season. She finished with her career a .333 batting average, good for 14th best in school history. Further congratulations to senior pitcher Courtney Wallace, who won a Gold Glove. This being the first year the Gold Glove has been awarded at the D1 level in softball. Courtney is the first pitcher to ever receive the award. She made no errors in 34 games played and 26 games started this season. Nebraska Wrestling released its non-conference schedule today, which you can find at Huskers.com. It includes home meets on Friday, November 4th against North Dakota State and Sunday, February 19th against Arizona State. Also on Huskers.com, Huskers Soccer released their full schedule for this upcoming fall season. You can catch up with our own Sammy Hawk and company as they will play 13 home games this season, including matchups against Oklahoma on August 21st, Minnesota on September 16th, and Ohio State on October 8th. Nebraska football will open Memorial Stadium to fans for 4 camps this month, with each of the 4 being free to the public. The first Friday Night Lights camp is this Friday, June 3rd, 6 to 8 p.m. Gates open at 5. 7-on-7 camp is Sunday, June 5th, with a 9:20 a.m. start. The gates open in that one at 9 a.m. The second Friday Night Lights camp will be Friday, June 17th, 6 to 8 p.m., with gates opening at 5. And the Adidas Pipeline Offensive Line, Defensive Line camp is Saturday, June 18th at 11 a.m. and will go to about 2 p.m. Gates open there at 10:30. Lastly, congratulations to the 147 Huskers who earned academic all Big Ten honors across 11 programs this semester. Over to pro sports. In an earlier action in the MLB today, the Marlins walloped the Rockies 14-1 in Game 1 of their doubleheader. The Guardians shut out the Royals 4-0. The Mets blanked the Nationals 5-0. The Astros rallied to win in the ninth to take a 5-4 win over the A's. The Braves shut down Arizona 6-0. And in current action, the Phillies just tied the Giants 2-2 in the sixth. The Marlins just saw their lead evaporate as that one is now, the Rockies blew a lead. In that one, it's 5-5 now in the fourth. The Orioles lead Seattle. That's 3-0 in the third. Toronto leads the White Sox 2-1 in the third. Boston and Cincinnati are scoreless in the fourth. The Tigers lead the Twins 1-0 in the third. And just underway, the Brewers at the Cubs, the Rays at the Rangers. In about 5 minutes, we'll see the Pirates at the Dodgers. And just about ready to get started, it's the Eastern Conference Finals in the NHL playoffs. Tampa Bay Lightning visiting the New York Rangers. That puck drop set for just mere moments away. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Bischoff comes set and the pitch. Fastball drilled into center field. Racing back is on. Racing back. It's over his head. And it is gone. Home run. Bryce Matthews. Day with a line, the first pitch, and Wallace grounds it back up the middle, base hit to center field. Squire scores. Andrews around third. She's gonna score, and the Huskers take the lead. Banjoff turns and crushes one to left. Mays is back. He's to the wall. He looks and is gone. Banjoff gets a homer out of here to left. The Huskers add another one. It's 9-3, Cornhuskers. First pitch to Peter on. Lifted in the air to left. Wind's going to help it. Banjoff back. He's to the track. He's to the wall. He jumps and makes a terrific catch as he falls into the fence for out number 3. 3-1 Huskers. First pitch. Livingston grounds to third. Gray to her left has it. Throws to first. In time! And Nebraska has won the 2022 Big Ten Tournament title! For the first time in school history, they've won the Big Ten Tournament Championship.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome back. It's hour number 2 of our Wednesday night show. June the 1st. How about that? We have flipped out of May. I got up this morning and had some of the national news on. This is actually the start of hurricane season. Hurricane season starts on June 1st. Hopefully it's a quiet season down in the tropics. And we don't get a lot of bad storms, but probably will have some of those that'll kick up. But it hits a Wednesday night, midweek, And it's
this
crazy
summer.
how much stuff's going on.
I know, and some of the lingo are the same. So you're talking about goalies, and I'm like, is it the hockey game, the soccer game?
Yeah.
And then we got multiple golf things going on, and so
You have the USA team, the NCAA team championships going on. Texas, Arizona State, right, are playing for the championship.
And the Golf Channel's having all kinds of issues, so they're going in and out and losing signal, so they'll go back to show. But I have two relatives that play for Texas, so the grandsons of Charles Coody. So the Coodys on the screen here for Texas family members. It's still hard for me to root for Texas, though, even though that's family down the line.
They are related to you, and they're in a real battle with Arizona State. That's fun going on. That's men's golf out in Scottsdale. I've been watching some of that throughout the day, last couple of days.
I love match play. I love
do too.
match play. And, yeah, so Texas kind of had a lead, and now it's pretty even as they, make the turn. And a couple of them all tied up, and one of them just won ahead. So, yeah, it's coming down to the wire.
And then we've got on TNT, you've got The Match, the quarterbacks edition with Brady and Rodgers against Mahomes and Allen. And they have played 4 holes, and the older guys, Rodgers, Brady, with a 1-up lead. They were 2 up, but the young pups on a short par 4 were able to get a win, and so it's 1 up the older guys.
Well, yeah, so par 4s are going to be advantage young guys.
They can really hit it.
I mean, they can outdrive the old guys, but it's definitely obvious that the old guys have played more golf. I think they should have split up Tom and Aaron and the young guys, but I get it, it's old versus new. But, boy, Patrick Mahomes swings that club hard.
Like a baseball player.
Yeah, he looks like a baseball player swinging a golf club.
And Andrew's a big soccer guy, so we have Team USA playing an international friendly against Morocco. They lead 2-0 late first half there. The hockey's about to start. This will be the Eastern Conference going tonight with Tampa and the Rangers. That's game 1 last night. The Western Conference Finals began, and the Avalanche were a winner over Edmonton. So yeah, we got kind of fun. You got a potpourri of sports going on tonight.
Ooh, I like
right?
that word.
How about
potpourri.
that?
Yeah. This, for the next couple of weeks, I feel like, but as soon as the NBA playoffs are over and the
College World Series,
college, both softball and baseball are over, then it's like, oh, it's just baseball for a while.
July is pretty dry.
And we had the Olympics last year, but now it's just going to be baseball.
Yeah, pretty dry in July. I love tennis. We had the French Open on last night. Rafael Nadal beat Novak Djokovic in the quarterfinals. I'm a big Wimbledon fan. That comes up in early July. But, yeah, it gets pretty skinny. And you have the NBA draft later on in the month as well. The NBA finals begin tomorrow night. You are picking?
I'm going to go with the Shooters.
Me too.
I got to go with Golden State.
I don't have a huge rooting interest. I probably will as the series goes on, but I think I'm picking Golden State.
I want a 7-game series, and I want it to not be blowouts every night. So I just want a competitive match. And I do think the Celtics provide the best matchup to make that happen. So I was glad that they won because I think they can guard a little bit better than the Heat. But how about this? So there's live reporters on the course with the quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes cracks his first Coors Light of the round. It'll help me for a while, as long as I don't drink too much of it. I was going to wait until the 4th hole, but I got down, so I had to go and open one a little bit early. Already going to the liquid courage there.
How about that? That's great. These guys are all having a pretty good time. They're all in. Like you said,
Tom Brady walking up cussing, talking trash, and I mean, at the core of it, and that's what we talked about when he retired. He's just not done competing yet. I mean, he is just such a fiery competitor. No matter what, if it's for a charity golf match, whatever it might be, he is just such a competitor. You knew he wasn't going to hang it up, and now here he is just putting it on the young guys.
Fun stuff going on. You talked about the College World Series for softball starts tomorrow down in Oklahoma City. We're going to hear from Chris Plank coming up here in just a little bit. The Big Ten will have representation there. Northwestern able to win on the road, win a super on the road, beating Arizona State. They are there. You are kind of smirking at the fact that the ACC and the SEC, which gobbled up a bunch of the hosting duties in the first couple rounds, didn't do too well.
Yeah, I wasn't heartbroken by any means because the ACC got a lot of love all year, and then they didn't get a single team into the World Series. And Virginia Tech was a team that a lot of people thought could be the Cinderella, could be the team that maybe upsets Oklahoma, and they get just rocked by Florida on Sunday, and Florida sneaks in. But I do think for Northwestern, because they don't reseed the Women's College World Series, and Chris Plank will dive into this a little bit, but the top half of the bracket is a little bit more stacked. So, if you lose, you flip. You go to the bottom side of the bracket. So that might be beneficial for Northwestern if they lose. I mean, yeah. I'm all in, wearing my Big Ten hat. I want Northwestern to do well. Big fan of Michelle Gascoigne, their pitching coach. But if for some reason Northwestern does happen to fall to Oklahoma, it almost gives them a little bit better of a road within that bottom half of the bracket. So that starts tomorrow. The baseball NCAA tournament starts on Friday, 16 sites. Maryland is a host. They're one of the 16 hosts for that. Be a wall-to-wall coverage all weekend long. We got a great rundown on that from Mike Rooney last night. By the way, did you hear, they have all the tickets and the big ticket and the hats, and Texas didn't have theirs. Oh. When they punched their ticket to the Women's College World Series, and they were apparently throwing a fit about it. Because they weren't included on that, I guess, because they pulled 2 upsets, really, in their regional and super regional. But it was kind of funny because I remember Maddie Burkhart talking about how when the last time Nebraska went to the Women's College World Series, they upset Oregon. And when they got to Oklahoma City, they didn't have Nebraska's flag. And in the gift shop, they were selling Oregon gear in the gift shop. They anticipated Oregon getting Yes, they did not give Nebraska much of a chance. Yeah. And so I was up there in the communications office earlier or yesterday, and Matt was joking about that, about how, well, it happened to us before. We didn't say anything. We just went about our business. But, of course, leave it to Texas to be whining and crying. Courtney Wallace, and Tim had this in the ticker, for the first time ever, the Rawlings Sporting Goods Company, which hands out the Gold Glove Awards at Major League Baseball, is doing it for college softball. And Courtney Wallace gets a Gold Glove. She's one of That's amazing. The first class ever, and she's going to have her name on that. That's awesome for her. It gives me chills. It's so cool. And I remember when they decided to do that, how big that was for softball players across the country to be included in that. And Rawlings is a big advocate for college softball. And so I think it's awesome that they decided to do that. And how cool is that? Courtney Wallace gets to be the first, and at her pitcher, I mean, she was the all Big Ten defensive pitcher. And so, yeah, congratulations. Waiting to hear about her decision. She could come back for another year too, which would be big. I would think she would. I think I think so, but not official yet. Probably we'll see an announcement on that coming up pretty soon. So they hand out 1 per position, so 9 Gold Glove awards. She wins the pitching honor. The catcher is Jordan Rood from Northwestern, and the right fielder is Christina Burkhart from Michigan. So 3 of the 9 are Big Ten teams. And the Big Ten was well represented. 7 teams made the tournament, but just 1 got to host. Yeah, which we talked a lot about. Just, I mean, even though there were some upsets this year, it's just, the benefit of being able to host a lot of times, especially for a team that hadn't been in the postseason. For a team like Nebraska, it would have been beneficial for them to be able to host, or some of those other teams. But glad that they got a number in, and we heard coaches across the league say all year that this is the toughest that it's been in a while, and the deepest that it's been in a while. And I think, don't quote me on this, I think the Michigan pitcher is leaving, Storako, but I think there's a lot of young talent in the league too, and Nebraska certainly leads that pack. Yeah, Huskers will be really, really good moving Hopefully forward. Get a pitcher in the portal. Olivia Farrell has exhausted all of her, almost said exalted, it's not the right word, exhausted all of her eligibility, so she'll be gone. But the parity in college softball this year is what has made this game so fun all year, because usually in this sport you don't see very many upsets. It's usually 1 through 6, 1 through 7, and then there might be 1 upset, or it might just be chalk getting to the Women's College World Series. And the fact that it was such craziness, I think the addition of those COVID years, the extra year of eligibility, has affected across the board. I mean, it affected both men's and women's basketball, and then now I think it's played a big impact on softball and the parity that we're seeing in this sport this year. Big 12 did well in the softball. They have 3 of the 8 that are going to be in Oklahoma City starting tomorrow for that action. Buckle up, put that phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're going to step aside, get a break in. When we come back, Jessica will talk to Chris Plank, who's going to be on the call all for the next 9 days at the College World Series for Westwood One, covering
one of the fun tournaments of the year, and that's the Women's Softball Championships down in Oklahoma City. That's coming up next.
Visit the truck experts at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Blair for all your new Ram truck needs. From the most awarded light-duty truck in America, the 2022 Ram 1500, to the hardworking and capable 2022 Ram 2500, we have the truck to get the job done. Stop out for a test drive in Blair during the Make the Switch event, or shop, finance, and buy online with eShop at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats, in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
Husker fans, get ready to be part of the excitement of the 2022-23 Nebraska women's basketball season by joining the season ticket waitlist today. The Huskers return all 5 starters from a team that won 24 games and advanced to the 2022 NCAA tournament. Make the first choice on the best seats to watch the Huskers in person at Pinnacle Bank Arena this year. Join the waitlist by July 31st at huskers.com/request list. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever. Massey Ferguson gives Nebraska farmers the power and performance to win in the field. Manzer Equipment in Osmond, Nebraska, your full-time Massey Ferguson dealer, proud supporters of the Huskers and Nebraska farmers since 1975.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul. Not to mention their injury list. Cox, we're sports 24/7. Learn more at cox.com/sports.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? They're even longer-term than the silent treatment your mom gave you after she found out you backed over her peony bushes with the riding lawnmower. even though it could have happened to anyone. Oof, talk about long term.
Hello, it's Jim Persinger from Dakota Mac. Give me a call at 308-284-3260 to learn all about our competitive rates on 30-year fixed-rate loans.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to Sports Nightly, the Women's College World Series set to kick off on Thursday at noon with UCLA and Texas, the first game of that one. And to help us break down the field, get a preview of the Women's College World Series, we welcome in Chris Plank, who will be calling the games for Westwood 1. You can hear him on ESPNU throughout the weekend. Also the voice of Oklahoma softball. So, Plank, how about this field? I mean, we had talked a few weeks ago going into the postseason that it could provide for some craziness. There's a lot of parity, and the seeding goes 1, 5, 7, 9, 14, and 3 unseeded teams. Normally, this is a sport that you see either 1 through 8, maybe 1 through 7. You might have a couple of upsets, but how about this field going into it this weekend?
You got to love it, Jess, and it's great to hear you, great to see you. And it's weird, for those who don't know, Jess was a regular at the Women's College World Series, and I'm pretty sure as Nebraska continues to bring this young talent around, you'll be back sooner rather than later. I will be back.
Love it.
Let's go.
Yes.
This is a great moment for this sport, what's happened right now, because parity reigns supreme. And it started last year when you saw what James Madison did. They got hot at the right time. They beat Oklahoma and then found themselves in a spot where they beat Oklahoma State, and you had to beat them twice to get to the Women's College World Series. And incidentally enough, they started in Knoxville, which is the same place where Oregon State started this year and ended up making their run. Now, Oregon State's a little bit more of a traditional power in the Pac-12, but Jess, to me, what has happened this year is a magnification of how teams are getting better all over the board. I mean, you look and you've got a Pac-12 team that was 0-9 in Arizona at one point this year, an Oregon State team that wasn't very good. Northwestern, you saw Northwestern. They were a good team out of the Big Ten this season. But Texas was the clear third best team in the Big 12. They probably would have struggled to make the tournament in the SEC this year. You had UCF, who was, if they were sent anywhere else but Norman, might have found themselves knocking on the door to make the College World Series. It shows you that parity truly reigns supreme. You're seeing teams that don't have to be, 49-2 to make a run to the Women's College World Series, and I think it's good. Alabama had not lost a regional game in years, and they get beat by Stanford. Florida State was dominating their regional, and they're out thanks to Mississippi State. Tennessee was dominating their regional, and they're out thanks to Oregon State. So
never hate to see the SEC teams get bounced, by the way.
If it wasn't for Virginia Tech laying an egg, we would have had them all shut out. But the reality is, the sport is, it's not just about the haves. Now, I know, and I'm coming from this as an Oklahoma guy who had a team that, was 2 runs away from finishing the season undefeated, but there is still a lot of leveling up by schools that have the commitment for administrators. You're seeing the transfer portal, which has always been a thing in college softball, immediate eligibility, really has helped kind of level out the playing field a bit. So to me, I think it's exciting, Jess, because it shows that you don't have to be the 1 through 8 seed in order to end up in a position where you're in the Women's College World Series. I mean, think about it. In Texas, Northwestern, Florida, Oregon State, and Arizona, 5 teams that had to go on the road for super regional play.
Right.
And they ended up making it. It's unbelievable.
So one of the big storylines last year was seeing the extended schedule a little bit, and it wasn't originally set like that, but weather kind of forced the teams to speak up. Hey, what are we doing to our student athletes? And it's a pretty big storyline, obviously, because the College World Series up in Omaha, it's set a certain way. And we had Coach Ravel on in the summer talking about, hey, we've got to make sure we're setting up our female student athletes in the right way too. So that's a change this year, is that they are extending it, giving a little bit of rest for these student athletes.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest with you. And it's really in the weeds. It's really inside softball, to dive into it. But I mean, here we are talking about the Women's College World Series. The benefit used to be getting a Saturday off. That was what your aim was if you if you were in the bracket, if you made it to the Women's College World Series. Because if you won your first game, you played immediately on that Friday night, and then you would have a Saturday off before potentially having to play 2 games on Sunday. Now they've spread things out a little bit to where you win on Thursday, you get that day off to rest, then you come back on Saturday, and you would hopefully find yourself not having to play again until Monday. So they built in some rest days. Teams that were fighting for their lives were having to play, 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. And then my biggest complaint had always been, and I didn't have a big problem with the schedule before, but I like that they built in a day from kind of like Elimination Sunday, which is now Elimination Monday, and they give you a day off before you start the championship series. So, and weather's going to play a factor in this because it's springtime in Oklahoma, and if it's not 1,000 degrees, Jess, it's pouring outside. It makes, as we're talking right now, we're under a thunderstorm watch, and I was just outside sweating before we started this show. So I like it. Did you have to change everything to where suddenly, you're not playing on Sunday unless you're fighting for your life? Sure, but I think they listen to the coaches and they listen to their TV partners, and you're not really competing with anything right now. The NBA Finals are their own entity, but you got 2 games that are going to end up on ABC, and that's a big deal. And you can't help but wonder if part of this expanding it opened the eyes and seeing the TV numbers to the TV networks to say, okay, expand it and let's give a bigger platform because this sport deserves it. So I dig it. It gets you more rest, and you're not basically running on fumes to try to have an opportunity to stay alive in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, because last year you had brought up JMU, and Odyssey Alexander was carrying the entire load, and she just ran out of gas. So you look at a team like Northwestern, who this schedule and getting the extra rest could really benefit, because Danielle Williams has carried a heavy portion of the load. In fact, she's pitched way more innings than any other pitcher going into it, has way more strikeouts. But you look at how the bracket stacks up, and again, people might be wondering, why is Northwestern, who's the 9 seed, playing Oklahoma the 1 seed? That's how the bracket kind of comes into it. They don't reseed it. So it will be Oklahoma and Northwestern in that first matchup. How do you see this matchup with more than likely going to be Danielle Williams and the Oklahoma hitters, who really got hot over the last couple of weeks?
Jess, this is a super regional rematch from like 3 years ago. These 2 teams played in the Super Regionals just a couple of years ago, and that's wild to, A, give a credit to Northwestern and the job that Danielle Williams has done, and then in that someone well, her pitching coach, Michelle Gascoigne, who helped pitch Oklahoma to a Women's College World Series title in 2013.
The championship winning pitcher is Michelle Gascoigne. So
yeah, she was fantastic. But, I threw this out the other day, Danielle Williams, I mean, she threw 430 pitches over 3 games, 23 and a third innings in a series in Arizona. That's not easy to do. But, she was high school teammates, or at least in the same city. They pitched for different high schools, as Nicole May for Oklahoma. And it's wild because that could be the Thursday matchup in Game 1, Nicole May versus Danielle Williams. And I was talking to Nicole's mom about it, and Nicole's like, that's how she's always been. She just always threw a lot of innings. So I wouldn't worry about wear and tear on Danielle Williams. The thing that did jump out to me is she walked a lot of hitters. And Oklahoma will take advantage of those walks. That's one thing that they've really done well so far this season. But, I mean, listen, I'm not big into odds. I'm not a big gambling person. But you would think the odds-on favorite to win this is Oklahoma. And you base that not just on being, 49-2, 50-2, whatever it is, heading into the Women's College World Series, but also you base it on the way that they played without Jordy Ball. They started the regional without the finalists and probably who should be the winner of Freshman of the Year in this country in Jordy Ball. And it's amazing to see how well their pitching staff has stepped up. So it's going to be fun. You saw Danielle Williams. You saw Northwestern this year. It's a good team. They've got just enough hitting. But I'm telling you what, I think that top part of the bracket is fantastic. You know, you get UCLA and Texas. Texas is the underdog. UCLA kind of struggles with pitchers like Khalid Olsini, who is an absolute bulldog for Texas. So this top of the bracket is fantastic with UCLA, Texas, and then, of course, Oklahoma versus Danielle Williams in Northwestern. It's going to be fun.
Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always click or call 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. We're going to keep talking to Chris Plank and breaking down this Women's College World Series field, but we got to work in a quick break, so keep it here on Sports Nightly.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, but when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up and back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker pride, powered locally.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. The 2022 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need you in Memorial Stadium this fall. A customizable Husker football 3-game mini plan is on sale now for only $180. To purchase your 2022 Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. Go Big Red.
Fuel your curiosities and inspire your lifeblood with the first ever Mazda Cx-50. Available now at both Woodhouse Mazda locations. The remarkably intuitive standard all-wheel drive Mazda Cx-50 is responsive, making the driver's connection to the road natural across a wide variety of driving scenarios. An interior where form and function meet, making the cabin luxurious and durable. See the first ever Cx-50 online at WoodhouseMazda.com or in the showroom in Bellevue or at Woodhouse Place off 144th and Giles Road.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Nothing goes better with Huskers sports than Fairbury. Fairbury, premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. The highest quality beef, pork, and natural spices give you the best tasting hot dog and your hometown favorite Big Red hot dog. Look for Fairbury hot dogs all year long at your local grocery store. Fairbury, the official hot dog of the Huskers and Nebraska fans everywhere.
At Great Western Bank, they are committed to your community. With all the local decisions and personal attention of a hometown community bank, they also have the convenience of a bigger bank. It's the best of both, so you can bank with your neighbors and your friends. Great Western Bank wishes all area teams a safe and successful season. Great Western Bank, member FDIC.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Traffic's Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
Visiting with Chris Plank, who's breaking down the Women's College World Series for us, getting started on Thursday at noon. All right, you mentioned her, Jordy Ball, Nebraska kid. She has not pitched one inning in the postseason. She had the injury going into the Big 12 tournament. Have not seen her. What's her status going into Oklahoma City?
I think she's ready.
Think she's ready?
Yeah, I'm breaking news here for you, Jess. No, in all seriousness, so tomorrow is the big day for press conferences and meeting with the broadcast partners, right? I think it's kind of talking season for 24 hours for all of these teams. And I think Patty Gasso will probably share the same thing that she did in the Super Regional, which was their whole plan all along was with this injury that she had suffered to her forearm, it would take some time, and they would test it out. They would test it out before regionals. They tried to. It wasn't feeling good, so they rested her. They tested it out before super regionals. A little better. Not to say she would have pitched this weekend if they went to a game 3, but she felt better. So everything in kind of stair-stepping the Papillion Nebraska product trends towards her being able to go. I watched her a lot in warm-ups, as I'm sure every single Sooner fan did that was at Marita Hines Field this weekend. And the regionals, when she would do her drills, she would drop the ball down out of her glove without grabbing it. During Super Regionals, she was pulling the ball out. She was even making a couple of throws, so you could sense it was feeling better. The challenge for Jordy Ball is, and for diehard softball fans who saw her play for Nebraska Gold and what she did in high school, she knows one speed, and that's 100 miles an hour, yo.
Yeah.
She is an absolute athletic freak. So I think the whole charge was during Super Regional preparation was slow down. It's okay. You're not going to be where you want to be or need to be yet, but you'll be there if you stay patient and follow this plan. And she did. I'm sure it was hard for her, but the sense is she should be ready to go. I don't know if that equates to her throwing on Thursday, but if she can go, she's going to start.
Yeah, they're going to have a hard time keeping her off that stage. You know,
Yes.
it's something that these kids dream about their entire life. And for her first shot at it, as much of a competitor as she is, I would bet on we're going to see her at some point in Oklahoma City. All right, for fans that might just be tuning in, maybe the casual fan might be watching, give us some storylines. I know Oklahoma is the clear favorite, but maybe who to watch out for, who can maybe give Oklahoma a run for the money, or some other storylines that we can be watching for as we tune in over the weekend.
Storylines, well, let's let me stay in state here. Okay, let me be in Oklahoma, the state of Oklahoma homer. Oklahoma State's really good.
We know, Nebraska fans know, we saw Oklahoma State in the regional.
That is true. If you would have won that Friday game, or that Saturday game, I'm telling you, I think we're having a completely different conversation now. But that's just me. You know, we were trade notes during it. I really like Oklahoma State, and here's what they've done. Oklahoma State had an injury issue. We talked about it before the regional. One of their star pitchers goes down, and what happens? Their number 3 steps up and is a rock star. Morgan Day looked great. Kelly Maxwell was one of the finalists for Player of the Year. She's fantastic. The issue, though, is I don't think they could have had a worse matchup in this bottom part of the bracket than having to deal with Arizona. Arizona's rolling, man. They kind of remind me of James Madison going into last year. They found something late in the season. So, you know, you're looking at a team that's been good all season long in Oklahoma State versus a team that honestly has kind of started to find its rhythm at the right time in Arizona. I don't know what to make of the other game. In fact, as we tape this, I'm just starting my prep because I've got the Oregon State-Florida game on the Westwood One radio network and the Ncaa radio network, so I'm pretty excited about that. Oregon State is a team that's they've been good all year. They remind me a lot of Nebraska, right, to where they had a bit of a swoon, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like, hey, where did Oregon State come from? Florida has been a disappointment this season. They really have. But whenever the timing came, they got hot at the right time. So this is and there's really, you look at these teams, and there's not an individual that, like Oklahoma has in Jocelyn Allo, or, you know, like maybe Oklahoma State has in Kelly Maxwell. You know, some look back in the history of Florida, you're like, oh, Kelly Barnhill, Delaney Gorley. No, they don't really have. They're good teams. I will say, from an individual perspective, obviously we talked about Danielle Williams in Northwestern, but between what UCLA and Texas bring into this, everyone knows the Maya Brady story. That's Tom Brady's niece. She is a fantastic hitter, incredible outfielder. UCLA has overcome the graduation of Bubba Nichols and Rachel Garcia, though it hasn't been a smooth ride to get here. The 5 seed heading in, and they hosted a super regional and a regional, but they probably got a little bit of that on reputation. They should not have been ranked as high as they were, but guess what they did? They went out and they took advantage of it. And then, boy, I could sit here and just marvel at Texas, right? The committee did them no favors the entire time, not even hosting their own regional. They go on the road to Seattle. They end Gabby Plain's career, one of the greatest pitchers in Pac-12 history. They then go on the road to Arkansas, and they get smoked in their first game in Arkansas. Haley Dulcini looks human, and then all of a sudden they find themselves, thanks to Janae Jefferson, winning that second game and beating the snot out of Arkansas in the third game. So it's an incredible mix of some exciting individuals and some just really good teams. And I got to tell you something, I'm really pumped to get things started Thursday morning at 11 a.m. And the great thing is ESPN, for, you know, I'm sure many of your listeners, Jess, have some of the same problems with ESPN that many of us do, but there is an event that they knock it out of the park on, and that's this Women's College World Series. It's fun to cover it. It's fun to be around it.
All right, Chris, good to see you, buddy. Best of luck, and can't wait to hear you again. He'll be on the call, Chris Plank, on Westwood One throughout the weekend. You can hear him on ESPNU Radio, Ncaa Radio, all of that good stuff. Chris, appreciate it.
Have a great day, Jess. Appreciate you having me on anytime.
All right, and again, Chris Plank joining us on our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotlines, brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance and buy online at woodhouse.com. More from Sports Nightly coming up right after this.
Husker fans, get ready to be part of the excitement of the 2022-23 Nebraska women's basketball season by joining the season ticket waitlist today. The Huskers return all 5 starters from a team that won 24 games and advanced to the 2022 NCAA tournament. Make the first choice on the best seats to watch the Huskers in person at Pinnacle Bank Arena this year. Join the waitlist by July 31st at huskers.com/request list.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sap Brothers. For 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first for all your vehicle needs. With 2 ways to shop, we make car buying easy. Purchase your new or certified pre-owned vehicle all from the comfort of your own home with available pickup and delivery options. Plus, chat with a sales team member, reserve your vehicle, and complete a credit application online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Or visit our climate-controlled showroom for comfortable shopping year-round. Streamlining your car buying experience. This is Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture, and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night, 402-413-2400. The number to dial us up with a comment or question, or you can fire off a text if you want to do that. Lots of stuff happening. We're watching the match between the quarterbacks, the old guys, Brady Rogers against the young pups, Mahomes and Allen. It's all square as the young guys have fought back to get that tied up. That's been fun to watch that. Tim mentioned this in the ticker that Nebraska Athletics announced that 147 Huskers have earned academic All-Big Ten honors. The league announced that today. That's really impressive. Comes across 11 different programs. Baseball had 17, beach volleyball 9, bowling 8, men's golf 7, men's tennis 6, men's track and field 31 athletes, rifle 5, softball 13, women's golf 7, women's tennis 8, women's track and field 36. How impressive is that for the spring sports?
So impressive. I mean, and you heard Vince talking about it, it's when you're selling this program that it's not just even when you make your sell, it's not just about football. It's about all these areas that are going to set you up for life and are the best of the best. And academics and then the life skills program are just unbelievable. And it's just, I've been here now for almost a year, and it's just amazing. Almost every interview that I do, that it just seems to come up over and over again for these student athletes, how important that is, that, there is such a focus on academics and that there is ways to give back and volunteer and all these different areas that kind of, set you up, because sports don't last forever. And so I think that's super impressive.
Jessica, these spring sports athletes, man, they travel so much. The ball bat sports, the track and field, because they'll leave on a Wednesday or Thursday for a track meet over the weekend. Maybe it's the Drake relays or the Texas relays. Men's golf and tennis, they travel all the time. They're playing to play their sports.
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard enough, I feel like, playing a spring sport because it's just so weird. You know, you play with baseball, softball, no matter where you play in the country, you play 3 games, you travel.
Yeah.
But it's even harder up here because of the weather.
Right.
Because the outside sports. So, yeah, I mean, it is, you know, it's funny because I was set to do an interview with somebody in the Big Ten tournament for softball on Wednesday morning, and, got to take a final. Got to study.
Right,
you know,
before they left.
It was like they were there. She was taking the final in the hotel room.
She was in East
and they were
Lansing.
about to play on Thursday, and so we couldn't do it then. But you know, it's just And a lot of times you'll see with these teams, their academic advisor travels with them.
Right.
And so, you know, they're able to kind of stay on top of things there. But just really some impressive human beings. And I bet you, if name off that list, a lot of them are some of the best athletes on their teams.
Probably are. I mean, you know, in football and basketball, they travel, but football's, you have 5 road games. You're not gone very much.
When you're on a charter and
you're on charters.
A lot of times you're gone less than 24 hours.
Right. In basketball, it's usually kind of out and back, and half your games or more than half your games are at home.
Yeah.
So you're not moving it. You're not nearly as much.
And you're on a charter, so you don't have to load up a bunch of equipment.
Correct. So for those sports, and I'm not saying it's easy because it's not doing either one of those, but these spring sports, the golf, the tennis, they're traveling constantly to play. They have to go south to play. They have to go to better weather.
You ever have to claim a bag for baseball when you travel?
I always check bags when I go with them.
But you don't have to carry any of their equipment?
No, they don't make me do that. I have my own equipment to carry.
Well, I mean, I guess I forgot about that. But, you know, sometimes, and Maddie was telling a story one time on I can't remember, it was one of the times she was here, about how sometimes a freshman, if they take their cage, you know, you're stuck with carrying the cage.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to get that checked in. You have to go through security, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's
and beach volleyball had to go to Hawaii and California.
Come on. Just awful. It was funny. And Lindsay Krause, I think you'll hear from her again coming up here in the next few weeks. She was joking about how she wanted so badly, that was on her bucket list, to go to Hawaii. And she's a love the beach kind of girl. And so she goes to Hawaii, and just beautiful beaches, right? And then they stop in California on the way back, and she's like, ooh, these beaches are gross.
Compared to Hawaii.
Yeah. So, you know, that they had a great time in Hawaii. And, you know, just hearing them talk about the importance of that trip, it builds so much for the fall season. The camaraderie, the chemistry, all that's built on that trip is so important to this program.
Here's something that I don't know the answer to this. I don't know how many Big Ten teams compete in beach. I think Nebraska's a rarity.
Well, and Nebraska doesn't compete to go win titles.
Yeah.
So there aren't very many
total beach programs.
Yeah. And you know what's kind of neat about that is that a lot of times, so you have your 4 years and then you have your extra year of eligibility. A lot of times regular volleyball players on the court will use that 5th year because you can play a different sport. And you see that with certain sports, but a lot of times those volleyball players will use that 5th year of eligibility to go play beach. They'll play their 4 years of eligibility, you know, on the court, indoor, and then they'll go play that 5th year on the beach.
I think it's part of John Cook's brilliance. He shakes it up. It's a totally different thing. It gets them out of the gym, different skill set in a lot of ways, and and then I think their minds are clear when they come back in the gym in April to go have some practices.
I mean, again, I'll never forget the first time talking to Coach Cook. I mean, you hear him, how you've got to be versatile. You got to be able to pass. You got to be able to serve. All of those things. In beach, you have to. There's two people on the sand. So you literally have to be able to do everything. And Lindsay Krause talked about how much she grew because there were certain parts of her game that she knew she needed to work on that she was forced to on the sand. So, yeah, I mean, it's good for the program, but then it also is beneficial in helping them prepare for winning national titles in the fall.
I'm out of here tomorrow. You've got the show tomorrow night. Can you get the volleyball schedule out? Would you do that?
I mean,
what are we doing here? Season's in like 3 months.
Make some calls. I don't know. You'd think maybe Coach Cook would let us in on that.
Soccer came out today. That's good.
Hopefully soon, but we are going to have a big guest, literally big guest, O'Shawn Mathis will be in studio.
About that.
So
everybody's waiting to hear from him.
Tune in.
Jay Foreman, I bet, dropped his name a dozen times.
He's a little bit excited about it.
He likes him. Hey, our Sports Auditing Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse, first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Thanks to Andrew and Tim, to Jessica, and all of you. Have a great night. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
The 2022 Nissan Rogue Sport is street savvy, road trip ready, and always fun to drive. Equipped with standard features like rear automatic braking, blind spot warning, and high beam assist, so you can surround yourself with confidence on the road. Plus, explore the 3 Rogue Sport trims to find the one that's right for you and your lifestyle. Choose your experience and shop, finance, and purchase online at woodhouse.com or in store at Woodhouse Nissan in Bellevue or at Woodhouse Place.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. During the summer of 2021, 3 UNL students helped safeguard cattle across the state. Neely Anderson, Tatiana Jones, and Ashton Commons developed secure beef supply plans that prevent the spread of disease outbreak. The plans protect nearly 850,000 cattle across our state and provide greater economic security for this vital industry.
Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go is mealtime made easy. Just order delicious meals online for convenient curbside pickup or have it delivered. Want breakfast? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Need lunch? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Doing dinner? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Get pancakes, burgers, fried chicken, lasagna, Hai Chai Asian dishes, sushi, pizza, and more. If you're craving it, Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go has it with curbside pickup or delivery.